I'm going to let them introduce themselves. But we just announced today a brand new game that we're working on. And on the day of announce, we're going to show it to you guys live here in just a few minutes. So I think what we'll do is we'll actually start with the video that we put out today, and then I'll let you talk all about yourselves. Okay. So we're gonna play that video in case you guys haven't seen it yet, and we'll be back in 2 minutes where you guys are going to get the first ever live peek of the game and get to talk directly to our developers right here.
What if we sort of started new worlds all the time? So you're going to log on, play with your friends, go on adventures, build, destroy, kind of do whatever you want in these worlds, and then once you've defeated it, we're going to roll up a new one that is going to be a completely new experience the next time around. Putting it all together, putting it online, and that's going to be Trove.
The worlds are really a combination of handcrafted content and auto-generated zones.
And once we said, okay, we're going to make new worlds for you to explore all the time, we had to answer a lot of other interesting questions like, all right, how are we going to make it so the things you build carry over or show up again? How are we going to save your progress? And answering those questions has really driven a lot of what the game has become.
When you have a very small team, you don't have the option to make a lot of content by hand, and so you need to come up with systems that are able to make the content that you want and put it together in ways that are interesting and that are meaningful to the user.
Voxels are great because you can build whatever kind of world you want to build. It's like taking Legos, and anyone can pick up Legos and build something really cool with them really quick. We have the basics there. You can build things, you can destroy things, you can fight monsters. You can actually even build things outside of the game that we have a pipeline for importing them into the game.
There's this entire different energy that happens when you actually have real people playing your games and the developers and the players are interacting, and that's the bit of magic that we really want to roll out as early as possible and make players a part of this experience of making this thing real.
The thing that sets Trove most apart from the competition is both being free to play and direct community involvement in development of the game. We're going to be on Reddit, we're going to be on Twitter, interacting with the community, finding their feedback, finding the directions that they want the game to go in.
We have no ego. We don't think that our ideas are necessarily the best ideas. We think that we are good at curating ideas and putting them together into a cohesive whole, but the idea themselves could come from anywhere.
Okay, so that is a video that we just put out today on the brand new Trove channel talking about brand new Trove. And so why don't you guys introduce yourselves and give us a little introduction. I mean, we've got a little bit of an introduction there, but so what are we, well, tell us about Trove and yourselves. First yourselves, then Trove.
All right, I'm Ted Sanger. I'm the animator on the project.
I'm Andrew Krasnick. I'm the creative lead on the project. And so a little bit about Trove. You guys obviously saw the video. Over a year ago, a couple of us who were working on Rift decided we basically wanted to try something new, do something smaller. MMOs are obviously giant projects, and we really wanted to see what kind of thing we could basically do in a year, put something out there. We saw a lot of smaller games that were developing in the public eye, and that's also something we were really, really interested in doing. But we still liked a lot of things about MMOs. We still like leveling up, we like classes, we like playing online with our friends.
These are all things we think we do well at Trion.
Sorry guys, he was quiet, but you could still hear him, right?
Are we good?
I had
Testing?
the wrong mic unmuted.
Testing.
I was like, I can hear this. All right, so you keep going.
All right,
Yes,
thanks guys.
good. Yes.
Awesome. All right, yeah, so, and obviously like Minecraft had come out, Terraria had come out, we were definitely inspired by those games. And we thought, all right, what can we do that combines the things we like about MMOs and these kind of more modifiable, mutable worlds? And we started building that game, a couple of us in a room. We're now a team of 11 people right now, so we're still very, very small. And we've hit a point where we feel comfortable showing it to you guys. We're not going to have an NDA. We're going to start inviting people from the public a couple weeks from now, probably. We have a few more things we want to do, but even before then, we want to start showing you what we've got. A little bit more about the game. We basically have 3 pillars that we're looking to fulfill, achieve, which is we want to have adventure, we want to have exploration, and we want to have creation. So adventure means, going out in the world, collecting loot, leveling up your character. Exploration, we always want to have new things to find. We're actually going to be resetting the world as a core mechanic. We're going to have ways to save things you've built, ways to have things you've built carry over to other worlds. But unlike some of the other games, like Cube World, like Minecraft, we're actually going to be resetting the world often and using a lot more procedural generation. So, for example, dungeons are going to be procedurally generated. Caves, mountains, the adventures you're going to go on are going to have rule sets that create new ones each time you play. And then finally, for creation, we want the standard creation that you find in these games. So you can build what you want. And then we also want to open a pipeline for the community to be able to create pieces in the game. So we have weapons in right now that actually weren't created by members of our team. In fact, most of our weapons were created by other people at Trion. They're cubes. They're how you're used to interacting with the world. And you can make them, and we'll be adding them to the game. So our main community hub is right now going to be on Reddit. We anticipate keeping it there. And we want to use that as a way for you guys to upvote and say the things you like to see so we can put them in the game as we develop it in front of you.
All right, so let's go ahead and bring it up so that we can show it to you guys for the first time live ever here. And here we go. And let me just change it so it actually says Trove. Boop, boop, Trove.
Oh,
there
skin.
we go.
We have our own.
We have our own skin, our own live stream skin.
All right, so
it's
let's,
official. These guys can read the chat here. Andrew is going to be taking your questions from the chat and also talking about what we're looking at here. That was a good introduction to what Trove is and what makes it different. And so people go ahead and send in your questions here.
Sure.
And you can also just talk about what we're looking at.
So what you see right now is we actually put up a new build last night that has a few new things that we'll show you. But people have started building things in it already. So we obviously have building and destruction. Destruction is actually something that's pretty fun, and I think we've sort of pushed farther. It's not a huge advancement, but it's pretty cool. So we've got, for example, bombs. So if Ted, you want to start chucking those around, see what happens to the world when we throw a few bombs out there. You'll notice something else with our art style is that while we are heavily cube-based, we did go with particles and effects that are a little more stylized, clean-looking, but not just cubey. So you can see the smoke trails on that. Looks like someone else is on the server and found us and also wants to blow us up. Someone asked, what's the website? Trovegame.com.
Oh, yeah, Trovegame.com.
Yeah, register on it. You'll automatically get added to the list of people who are going to get in. The sooner you register, the higher you are on the list. OK, so do you want to just build some stuff?
Sure.
And I don't know if you can find the castle
here.
you built, maybe.
Oh, AR built this castle over here. We'll go over
Yeah,
there.
well, you have the tunnel.
Yeah, I like that you sent out a message to our playtest chat yesterday being like, hey, if anyone wants to build anything cool, we'll show it on the live stream tomorrow. So we definitely got some, oh man, I didn't know you could rapid
So in terms of platform, I don't want to promise anything we're not definitely going to do. It is PC only right now, and that is mostly so we can keep development at a nice clip. We want to do frequent weekly updates to this game. We are looking at both next gen as well as things like Steambox. The game has run on the Mac before. I anticipate it will run on the Mac again. But again, we're PC only right now to make sure we can keep up the speed of development that we want since we are so early in development.
Approximate minimum requirements. I mean, a game this early in development is always really hard to promise any sort of minimum requirements, but it does. I know it runs very flexibly.
Yeah, it does, and we're keeping an eye on optimization. It runs on, well, if you can run Rift, you can definitely run this game.
I don't know what I'm building here. Some sort of structure with a base.
Adam, if you're listening, do you want to type the website in chat? Or if anyone wants to drop the website in chat?
Yeah,
it's been asked a few times.
Deb's probably in there, but we got Trovegame.com. And Trovegame.com is also where you can sign up for alpha. As he said, we're going to be starting letting people into the alpha very soon now.
Yes.
We're talking measured in weeks, not months.
Yep.
And so it's and this we're taking your guys' input. We want to know early on. As he said, this is basically the first point where we got to a point where we can show the game and can start talking about it. Where it's enough of something that we can actually show you. There you go.
Solve your problem with bombs, always. All right, there's a tunnel. And then we can show some loot, too. So we just got loot in the game. Added some treasure chests, monsters drop it, loot, and making your character more powerful is a part of the game that's important to us.
That one's not
So in terms of cheesing dungeons, it's going to be mostly about combat, but you can also destroy the walls of a dungeon and see where you go. Bombs, which are the most effective way to do it, are consumable, so you want to sort of do targeted destruction within dungeons. We're working on dungeons basically this week and next week. They're coming online. So we're going to be testing them out, seeing what works, what doesn't. This whole thing is a very, very much going to be an evolving process. All right, anyway, so we have some loot in the game.
Yeah, just switch my sword.
Which he
Does more
switched his
damage.
sword. We've got all sorts of rarities.
Swing at this guy.
I think I picked up an epic gem earlier, which had some great stats on it.
It's
For character customization, we have, you'll see, you want to turn and face the camera? Show off the Viking hat and stash.
Oh, you have
We
the mustache.
Yeah, so if you open your inventory, I have
got
some
the
other stuff
mustache.
unlocked. So you can swap out your hat and your head. This is a cosmetic option, so we are free to play. And right now, the thing we have on our store is cosmetic. And so it's a way to sort of donate a couple bucks, support the game, and make your character look different. So he's got
I like that.
That's a good combo. I like that one.
Viking with the visor.
All right, open world. Yeah, no instance is. The world is open. There will be multiple worlds, and you can jump between them, and there will be ways to carry your some of your power, some of the things you build between those worlds. It's not going to be gigantic worlds. They are going to be closer to around 40 people. And that's because we want to cycle them. We want to have it so it feels like you're playing with your friends and your guild. And give them world objectives is another thing. So worlds are going to have quests associated with them. You complete those quests, you beat the world, it jumps to a new world, it creates a new world, and you get some kind of reward for beating the world. PvP. So this is a PvE game. I anticipate that we'll do some light PvP in the future, but I don't want to promise that. It is a PvE-focused game, and because we are such a small team, we want to make sure we do the things we're focusing on well, so we're going to stay focused on that.
I think that's an interesting thing to mention again. Oh, wow, you got a lot of bombs from that guy.
Yeah, he drops a lot.
Interesting thing to mention is that this is a small team project. Like I think you said we have 11 people on the
11
team right
people on
now,
the
but
team.
it started with 2.
Yeah.
Andrew has an excellent intro post on the on our official subreddit. If you go to Reddit, Reddit r Trove, that's where you can get to the official Trove Reddit, which you should definitely subscribe to. All of our developers, all the devs on the game, all 11 of them, will be in there and talking to you guys, answering questions, asking you guys questions, and generally interacting in a way that that we're really excited about.
Absolutely.
But this is a small team project, and that's kind of a lot of the spirit behind this as well. Is that we are. Man, you have a lot of bombs.
Yeah, so I'll grab a couple questions. Building resources will be limited. Right now in this current version, they're actually unlimited. We're working on the mechanics starting next week for how you're going to acquire them and start placing them and spending them in the world, along with our crafting mechanics.
Nope.
I think people asking if there are going to be things like bosses.
Bosses, definitely bosses.
Yeah.
Yes, 2 bosses. And it is right. It's a action-oriented combat system. We have also stats like knockback and stability, which counteracts knockback. Monsters will attack the closest thing. So if you're a tank, you want a bunch of stability. So the dragon, it'll hit you, and you'll basically just stand firm. We also have stats like health and armor. I don't know if you want to fight some guys and use some abilities here. We've got like smash and charge, which also deform the terrain in the world.
Yeah,
our first class we have here is the knight. We're going to definitely be building more classes. We're using him as basically our test bed for combat and stuff right now. Once we have all that locked down, we're going to start expanding it into more.
I saw someone asking, will alpha invites go out sequentially or randomly? A lot of this is actually we're playing it by ear. This is the first day we're talking about it. We're seeing how much interest we get. We're really going to, and this is actually going to be the answer to a lot of questions. Is we're figuring that out. We're finding out if we get 10 billion people sign up for it, we're going to have to figure out what we do about that. And so we don't know yet is the honest answer to exactly how they'll go out. We do know that we are going to get people into this game very soon.
Yeah. So I saw a question about cube sizes. The cubes that you build with are all the same size. They're untextured, so when you put them all together, they'll look like much bigger things. The other thing we do is you'll look at like the deco, the weapons, the character models. They are built out of smaller cubes, also textured. Something else we can do that are cool with the cubes is we can have material types on them. So a water cube, a metal cube, a dirt cube, they'll all have different properties, like the way the light reflects off of them and stuff like that. So it will look different based on what you're making. Classes. Classes, actually, we want to just throw this pretty wide. We have a very fun world, very light world, very colorful world. We're going to do ninjas, we're going to do cyborgs, we're going to do, I think we were talking about like a cybernetic cowboy that has some crazy laser pistols as maybe being the second class we make to make it really different from the knight. In terms of the zones and the biomes that we're going to make, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to theme them closely to these different sort of fantasy, but not necessarily, high fantasy or orcs and elves fantasy. Mounts. We want to do mounts. We don't have mounts yet. Sounds like fun. No reason not to do it. It's on the list.
We are getting a lot of new people in here that weren't necessarily here at the beginning, and so and we're getting those people. A lot of people asking, what makes us different from Minecraft? What makes us different from Cube World? What makes it different from Terraria? Well, Terraria is obviously a bit more different, but and you answered that in the beginning, but you want to explain again for the new people that are coming in?
Sure. Jump back in. So I think a lot of what's going to set us apart is especially the progression, the world cycling, the fact that we'll be online, you can connect from anywhere. We're also doing a lot more with quests and dungeon generation that I think those games really do. A lot of that focus on adventure and exploration is really what's going to set us apart.
Why the name Trove? Because you hunt treasure.
Yeah. It was a collection of wonderful things, and that's what we think of as the game. So yeah.
The journey to name the game was
Yeah,
a very long one. Actually,
epic.
We're probably going to post. We have a photo of a whiteboard of a meeting that we had literally last week. Literally last week we were still figuring out what to name this game. This is how much of early we're bringing this out. Last week this game had no name.
Yes.
We call it Kiwi internally. That was just the project name. But and we're sitting there, trying to figure out what should we call this since we're going to tell people about it next week. And so we'll probably post the photo. As you can see, we have a ridiculously 100 names on the whiteboard. We had a voting system and this whole thing. And that isn't even how we ended up with the name Trove. But that was one of the steps in the long journey.
Yeah, and so I saw a few of you kind of follow up my dungeon comment saying that games like Cube World do have dungeons, and you're totally right. We do think, though, that there's areas there to explore. If you look at what a lot of roguelikes are doing, I said way too many times in that sentence, but roguelike is acceptable. Roguelikes do is with the creation of their dungeons, where they create rooms of different sizes with different permutations of things within them and different combinations of that. We think no one's really explored that, and voxel-based worlds are a really cool place to do that, and especially an adventure-oriented one. So we're really excited to be making that stuff, and we've actually bumped that up on the list because one of our devs was just gung-ho. Court, who you saw in the video, was gung-ho to be making it, and we think it's something that will set us apart. So we're going to be putting that in and showing it off within the next couple weeks.
People are asking about day-night cycle.
Day-night cycle. There is day-night cycle. It's about 15 minutes. You might see it as it goes. And we actually
setting right now, or
the
is it
sun
rising?
looks like it's rising.
Okay. We've got about 10 minutes left, so you guys might get to see it. You're getting shot at.
We went through it already. With
We did.
cycles, yeah.
Well, if you guys are paying close attention, you already saw the day-night cycle. But these are probably
Could
new
be a
people
new person.
coming in.
Could be a new person.
We are going to show Defiance in about 15 minutes, guys. About 10 minutes.
If you can't sign up on the site, shoot us something at Twitter. I know our CS guys are watching Twitter account, and we'll figure it out. We want everyone to be able to sign up. So
yeah, if you can't sign up for some reason, just tweet at Trove Game, or you could let us know on Reddit.
Trove will have pets. We love pets.
I like it. That one is solid.
Yeah, it's
We
on the
like
list.
Pets. I can't wait to do pets.
Griefing. So.
That's a good question.
Yeah, it's a great question. And I'm going to preface this with the caveat that the things I tell you are basically what we are going to do to start with. As you guys play the game, as we play the game, these things might change. We might decide that we need more protection, less protection, so on and so forth. But what we're going to do is we're actually going to give you something we're calling a cornerstone, which is your own part of the world. It actually is going to travel with you between worlds. You can place it down in new worlds. That is your protected space to build whatever you want. It's going to be your home base. You can put down crafting stations there. You can make it look however you want. You can take the things you've collected in the world and place them there. And then it's persistent, sticks with you like anything else. If you go out in the world and you want to build some stuff, also cool. That we are thinking about taking and carrying over to new worlds. But that's also destroyable. So someone else can come into your sweet castle you put down, and they can throw some bombs at it. And that's kind of part of the fun of these games. So our plan is to let that go.
The cornerstone is the thing I'm most excited about.
Yes, yeah.
Being able to take what you build and move it from world to world is, I want to say, something that's never been done in this style of game before.
I don't think so, and I think
so.
that's one of our
I haven't
unique
played every
features.
single game that exists in the entire world, but that's...
Don't worry, it's a dire ladybug. They fight back. Yes, cornerstones are safe from destruction, except for your own destruction. Obviously, you can modify it however you want.
This guy's going to leave him alone.
You do have to harvest minerals. You don't have to mine. We think that Minecraft kind of has the dig randomly in all directions thing covered. We're not really interested in making that game. It'll be more about exploring the world to find the resources to craft with.
A lot of dungeon resources, above ground resources,
Yeah,
stuff like that.
yeah. Not to say there won't be things hidden underground too for you to randomly find, but it's not the focus. That's not going to be the optimal way to go find stuff.
Yeah, block.
There's a lot of questions about, kind of stuff that will be added, magic and stuff like that. And, I know that you guys are looking at all possibilities. It's something that we said in the beginning that's worth reiterating is a big part of how this game is going to be developed going forward is talking to the community and figuring out what you guys like. We're so open to this game changing based on your guys' feedback that you guys may implement something and then it turns out that it's so popular and so amazing that the core game design shifts to be based around that one thing. I mean, I don't know what that one thing would be, but that's a possibility. We don't have the game design doc for the final game, planned out. We're putting things in, figuring out what's fun.
We're going to put our backlog out there. We're going to tell you guys what we're working on, and we're interested in your opinions. We'll go from there. The alpha is, next couple weeks is our goal. I hate to promise anything, for sure, but we're going to start, we really want to start inviting new people basically a couple weeks from now.
There's a couple things we got to get changed in the game before we can bring people in, some technical reasons and other things. So, but it's as soon as we can. This is a game where everything early is what we're trying to do.
So the question: do you start with 1,000,000 bombs? So right now,
we just crashed.
All right, here, let me log him back in.
This game is in alpha. Did we mention that?
Did we mention that?
There we go. We'll bring it back up.
I think I threw too many bombs.
Too many bombs. So yeah, bombs. So we actually we put coins on our monsters to start with. We're like, oh, people love collecting coins, but coins don't do anything yet. Bombs do something. So we put bombs as monster loot, and that's why everyone has thousands of them. The number will come down. So.
I ran out of bombs. Dang it.
There's no NDA. As of today, there is no NDA. So anyone playing the game, ourselves, we'll be talking about it, tweeting about it, streaming it, all that good stuff.
Yeah, also all of our developers are on Twitter as well. How much each of them is going to use it is up to them, really. But and we'll be putting that list out so that you guys can easily find them. The place that we're going to be doing the most community interaction is on our official... Oh.
What's going on?
Showing off the day-night cycle.
Oh, no. All right.
All right, we're going to get logged back in.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you guys go to trovegame.com, that is where you can sign up for the alpha. You sign up using your Trion account, I believe. Pets, yes. He actually already did say yes to pets. I'm seeing more and more of those questions.
Someone was asking about different biomes.
Man, maybe even sooner.
Different biomes, someone was asking?
Yeah, so we'll do all sorts of biomes. We have this frozen waste that's robots that have crash landed in it, and that's the next one we're working on. We want to make our zones really distinct from each other and have different monsters and different looking loot that comes out of it and all that stuff.
And yes, this game is alpha. It crashes.
Yeah.
It crashes a decent amount because it's alpha.
Absolutely.
This is we are showing you this game the moment that we thought we can show it to you. A lot of game development. We're trying something different, not just with the game itself, but with the entire game development process here and how we interact with the community. And that's. I'm in the community department, so that's the part I'm really excited about.
But someone wants you to build a nerd pool.
Nerd pool. All right. I think I have enough blocks for a nerd pool.
So in terms of physics, we have some physics. I think I saw that question a couple times. Probably the same person. All good. We have some, but it's kind of where it makes sense, right? Where it's fun. So if you look at actually when the monsters were dying, they were falling into pieces, and their pieces were rolling around. We're using physics for that. Controlling your character, we're not making Q-op or anything, so physics make less sense, but as applicable, right?
I can go higher.
We don't really know about the odds for alpha. We'll have more on that to come.
On the which thing?
On odds of getting an alpha if you sign up today.
Oh yeah, the odds of getting into alpha are going to depend on how many people sign up and how quickly we scale this whole thing. But the intention is to get in. We can say the intention is to get in as many people as early as possible.
Yeah.
A lot of that's going to come down to as the game scales. We've only ever put we had an entire company-wide playtest a few times we know it can support that, which is already a good sign. That's pretty good for the very first time. I think Scott Hartzman, our CEO, said it's the first time on all the projects he's worked on where the very first time you invite everyone internally to get on and the game actually works. Usually the first time you do that, because you've never done it before, you don't know what bugs exist, it's gonna crash galore. And it actually didn't do that, which was incredible.
Yeah. So fall damage. As soon as we have a way to mitigate fall damage, we're going to look at it again. But right now it's so fun to build up, jump down. There's no fall damage.
I was trying to find the starting area again, but I've lost. I'm I'm very lost.
So what we're actually going to sell is still up in the air. Definitely not like locked off areas of content. You're going to be playing with everyone. You're always going to be able to play with everyone else playing the game. Right now what we're selling is purely cosmetic stuff. That will definitely expand in some way, but it's still really too early to start talking about any of the other stuff.
Yeah, we don't, you know, the business model stuff is less important than getting people in here and finding out what's fun.
Yeah.
But it's something that, you know, we're figuring it out just like the rest of everything.
Yeah, and to make that explicit, it is free to play.
It is free to play. You can access everything.
Someone's asked world size. Vertically, we're 256. Bottom of the world to the top. In terms of the expansiveness of the world, it is effectively unlimited. We actually want to have worlds that are completable, that cycle, so they aren't going to be actually unlimited, but we'll kind of design that to be the size that is the most fun, and we'll be learning that as we develop it.
Someone say, can you go underground and mine?
You can go underground, you can mine, you can find some stuff. As before, we're not really making this game about mining, but it is fun to dig through mountains. So we're going to put, you know, you're going to get some resources, you're going to pick up some blocks. That's actually something we have on the schedule to start working on next week. So if you watch us during the next live stream, you might even see it.
Got a weird shader bug on this flickery stuff. But.
Oh, on this layer.
Yeah.
You're not going to go through and tap on rocks and get ore and then convert it into things. We all love Minecraft. We think Minecraft does that really well. We're trying to do something different with this.
Yep, we will have quests, definitely. Details to come, and in fact, most of those are still to be developed.
And yes, this game is Trove. It's not Rift. Sorry that it says we're playing Rift. Trove, we announced it today, and therefore is not in Twitch's database, so I can't tell it that we're playing Trove. You can only play things that it actually knows exist, and yesterday it didn't know it existed. So there you go. But we're actually at the end of our time here. We're actually already a minute over, but we did start like a minute late because of the contest I was doing in Rift. So, and yeah, for those of you just coming in, this game is Trove, and Defiance is going to start in about 60 seconds because I'm going to kick you guys out and we're going to do Defiance. I did see some questions asking, is Trove going to be a regular part of the Friday live streams? Eventually, yes. It might be back next week. It's really going to depend on, we got to figure that out. Again, I know we keep saying that, but the bottom line is like, we put this out as early as possible. Maybe this will be a regular part of our Fridays. Almost definitely once we start letting alpha people in, it will be a regular part. So that we can play with alpha players and such. But, you know, we're playing that by ear. So maybe next week.
Cool. Well, thanks for the questions, guys. Find us on Reddit, Twitter. We'll be responding to more. So anything you've got, throw it out there.
Yeah, ask questions. Go ask questions on Reddit. Submit text posts there. And Andrew's in there.
Yep.
Well, everyone's in there, actually. So
Yep.
And we're excited to get that started.
Oh, torches.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to go ahead and switch myself on over to...
Yeah, you should totally link our Reddit in there.
I'm going to... And you know what? This game does have sound, and I had it muted the whole time.
Next time.
Something for next time.
Yeah.
That was dumb of me. Yeah, you guys are going to get to hear the sound next, although you guys did get to hear the music earlier. Yeah, thanks for joining us, guys.
Thank you.
It's really cool, really exciting to do a... this is the first time I've ever done a live stream on the day that we announce a game, so
Exciting for us
pretty
too,
cool. Yeah. So again, trovegame.com is where you go and sign up for that alpha. Sorry if Nightbot is timing people out for posting links. Oh, that's even one of our devs. Nightbot, you're a jerk. Yeah, he definitely timed out some of our devs for trying to post the Trove game link. So
Nice.
There we go. And yeah, Reddit too, I think.
there we go.
You can get to the
Trovegame.com.
Reddit link from Trove Game. It's pretty
And if you go
obvious.
to trovegame.com, yeah, links to the Reddit, but it's our Trove. So